Yeah. Good evening, everyone. This is Priyadarshan Soni, Marketing Head for Procare AHT, McLeod's Pharmaceutical Limited. Today, we again come back with the sixth episode. And as the Corona episode is intensifying and the second wave is starting, our sixth wave is on. Today, we have again the VP of SBI Mutual Funds and the Head of Knowledge Management, Mr. Ajay Mittal. But before he starts, I would like to, take your thought process to a tangent. Has this lockdown given you a feel of what would be your life when you retire? Probably you might be sitting the same way as we are sitting in the lockdown. I don't know. You might be working, but the tension of the earnings as faced by many of the people who were salaried or who had small businesses which have been closed down have maybe felt, and the same may be felt if you think what would be your earning and what would be your lifestyle once you retire. Yes, I am talking about a age which we do not think of very often, which we do not think very intensively today, but it's a hard fact of life that it will come. And preparation, as it is told, starts much before in timeline for a future event to happen. So now I would not like to waste much time, but take you directly to Mr. Ajay Mittal, who is quite experienced in giving you a feel of what should you do now so that your future, I would like to say your retirement life or your post-retirement life is safe. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Ajay Mittal, and I'm working for SBI Mutual Fund. And today we would be discussing the topic on retirement planning, why retirement planning is important. So, like many of you have already heard about the people who are well off, the people who are doing very well in their life, and all sort of things. But at the fag end of their life, rather the golden years of their life, they are feeling a lot of or facing a lot of problem. So why it is happening, why the people are facing that sort of problem, that sort of things, we are going to discuss it over here. Like we have seen many celebrities, many doctors, many professionals. So they did very well in their professional life throughout 20 years, 30 years, or 35 years. But at the end of their life, or at the golden years of their life, after 65, 70, or after 60, they are facing a lot of problem. They are not being able to meet their ends and all. So that sort of things we are going to discuss, like why it is important to have retirement planning for your life. And if you are not doing it, then how the people are going to face a problem. All those things we are going to discuss it today. And uh, we are having 4 or 5 polls also in between. So all of you are requested to please participate on those polls, so that I would be able to, or we would be able to come to know that whether how, you are understanding the things or not. So let's start with the presentation. This is the presentation, and on retirement planning. So this is so what does retirement mean to you? So retirement mean to you, there are two eras, like first end of an era, financial instability and anxiety about the future, or second inning, like more enjoyable life, master of your own destiny. So those sort of things we are going to discuss it over here. So that is basically when we are talking about. So what does retirement mean to you? So it is like it is an era, end of an era, financial stability and an anxiety about the future. So that is about retirement. So two types of innings are there. That's what that sort of so, we have seen. So many of the people who do good planning, who do better planning, they see their retirement as a golden years. And the people who doesn't care about the planning on all those things, they are like they see the financial instability, and they have a lot of anxiety about the futures. So that is why so it is important to have retirement planning. So if we see when we are talking about life after 60, you are enter a new phase of life. So many of the people, they are saying, so I'm retiring from work, not life. So like changing from the last lane to the slower lane. So retirement is basically one should plan in such a way that the people should not be getting any sort of financial issues in their life post retirement. And how it is happening, so it is happening only through proper planning. So planning, investing and saving wisely for your futures takes center stage in your life, or it should take center stage in your life. So that's why, like, post retirement life, your major objective, what sort of major objective should be there. So like first is one should maintain their standard of living or improve their standard of living. Improving is can be done in some cases, but maintaining the standard of living is the one thing which is very very important from the perspective of understanding. Then continue socializing with family and friends after retirement. So even though many of the people in the society, we have seen post retirement, generally people are more concerned about the general expenditures and all. But why? Because of improper planning. And then liquidity, tax efficiency and safety of investment, these are the three things which plays a very very important role in this. So these are the stages of life. If you see the stages of life, like in the case of doctors or medical professionals, so young earners started at this age, 28 years or 20, 30 years. So the accumulation phase. But for others, generally earlier it used to be 22 years, but now it is started accumulation phase, in the sense you started accumulating the money, you started earning the money in at that particular age. And then 35 to 45 years, your middle earning years are there. So because what happens when you are young, when you started earning at till this age, 45 to 55, so you are accumulating the money. And rather for the for the profession like medical and all, your middle earning years go up to 50 to 55 years. And your distribution phase is started post 65 in the case of medical professionals. So whenever because you doctors, they started earning late, majorly their earning is started post 30, and their accumulation phase goes up to 45 to 55 years. So that is the phase when one should. Yeah, it is there. Oh, I already shared, I think. Okay. So if you see the accumulation phase, so accumulation phase for the medical professional is started with the age after they started earning, because of the profession you are in. So for from that perspective, you're 28 years to 30 years, 8 years you started earning, and your accumulation phase goes up to for 55 to 60 years. And your distribution phase started, or your expenditure phase is started from 55, after 55 sort of, because of late earning years and all. So that is why it's the impact on savings and investments between accumulation phase and distribution phase is very very important. And now retirement planning, when we are talking about, if you see the expectancy of life in the preceding few years, it has increased. And this is the life expectancy as per the uh, census data of 2014-18. And if you see the state-wise, the life expectancy is different for male and females. Like female life expectancy is higher, and across, and whereas the male expectancy is nearly 72, whereas the female expectancy is nearly 76 average. Okay, so if your life divides into three phases. One is uh, your studying years or your learning years up to 25 to 30. Then the post 30, for 30 years or 35 years you are earning. And post 60, your distribution phase, like your retirement phase, when expenditure would be more, okay, related to your retirement things. So three phases. First phase, your learning years, another your earning years, and third is your distribution phase, when your retirement phase started coming in. Now, so this is about the poll. So how does retirement planning helps an individual? So there are three options given in this. It provides an estimate of income at the retirement years. It reduces taxable income in the years that the individual has contributed. So if it is the tax favored way of setting aside money during the working years of retirement, and all of these. So like first option, when we are talking about, it provides an estimate of income at the retirement years. So in retirement planning, generally the people are doing that sort of thing. So it reduces taxable income in the years that the individual has contributed. Yes. So just to give me an answer, what would be the right choice from your perspective? How does retirement planning helps an individual? So it provides. So out of these four choices, which choice, as per you, would be better? Karan, poll please. So So I think it provides an estimate of income at the retirement years. So 60% of the people are saying. So second option is it reduces taxable income in the years that the individual has contributed. This is the right, because you are, when you are saving your money and post retirement, it reduces your taxable income, and it is the tax favored way of setting aside money during the working years for retirement. Rather, 20% of the people have said it rightly. So all of these is the answer for this. Okay. Now, moving forward, like what are the key pain points of retirement? So the key pain point for retirement is basically to ensure the stability, and the first is less cash flow, taxation blues, and lower interest rates. So whenever we are seeing that if somebody is not being able to make a proper planning, so they would be having a lesser cash flows and the taxation blues and the lower interest rates. Like if the lower interest rates are there, you are not being able to meet out the inflation rate. If the inflation rate is 7% in the saving bank account or in the FD, if you are getting lesser than that, it means you are reducing, or the value of your money is getting reduced every passing year. So that is why it is important, the key pain points of retirement. Why I'm getting into this? If any investment you are making for your retirement years, and that retirement for that retirement years, if you are not being able to make out that sort of returns, then definitely it is a pain point for your retirement planning. So retirement planning not a problem for millennials when we are talking about. So most people give any serious thoughts to retirement planning only after they cross 40. So here the main point is this: generally people are thinking retirement planning should start when you are reaching to 40, 50 or 60, and many of the people started planning retirement at the age of 55 itself. So, but one should have to think from that perspective. If somebody is planning for the retirement in a proper way, that should be done when the person started earning at that started earning from that day itself. One should start planning for retirement. So when now another poll is, the retirement goal value will be affected by which of the following in the individual life. So First, early retirement. Second, increased expenses. Third, reduced savings, and all of the options given above. So like when we are talking about goal value, if suppose if somebody is thinking I want to retire at the age of 45 or 60, so your goal value would be affected or not. So if somebody is saying my expenses would be higher or expenses would be lower, so if somebody who is having an expenditure of 20,000 and another person who is having an expenditure of 40,000, so that both of them would be having will make an effect on the individual's life retirement goal. So third is reduced savings. If somebody is having a reduced saving, then automatically at the end of the retirement planning phase, the goal value would get affected, and all of the options given above. So out of these four options, which options do you think is the right choice for retirement goal value? That is how it is going to get affected. Poll, please. Yeah. So the retirement goal value will be affected by which of the following changes in individual life? All of the options given above. So like if early retirement, if you are thinking of, yes, definitely retirement goal value will get changes. So increased expenses, if your expenses is on a higher side, definitely your retirement is going to get affected because of lesser savings, or your lifestyle would be changes would be on a higher side. And if you reduced savings would be there, then definitely your retirement goal value will be affected. So all of the options given above is the right answer for this. So factor which affects the factors which affect just a minute. So factor which affects retirement planning, there are three types of factors. The factors which are under complete control. Second is some control are there, and third is no control. So complete control, when we are talking about, you are doing enormous savings, okay, and you are doing wise spending also. So asset allocation is being done in a proper way. Then asset location sort of thing is very important from the perspective of your real estate sort of thing. Then diet and exercise is another thing which makes an effect on the retirement planning. Then some control like income, you don't have a full control on the income, but some control would be there. Your working hours, career duration, and life expectancy, these are the things where you have little bit control. And the things which in under your control is not there at all, that is market returns. So how much the market is going to give you a return, that is not under your control. But thing is, like, if you started investing your money at an early age, and if you are keeping the money for a longer periodicity, like 20 years, 30 years down the line, or 10 years down the line, then definitely we have seen in the market, also in the equity market, is the best option for putting your money. Then work benefits, government and tax policies, and macro events like your GDP number, your inflation, your interest rate. So that is not under the control. The things which are in our control is like putting the savings for a longer period, or savings into investment for a longer period, lesser spending. Then asset allocation, that is in our full control. So these are the factors which affect retirement planning in different ways. like a general rule of thumb, Bill Benjen, one of the financial, well-known financial advisor, he said it rightly. If you retire, you can safely withdraw up to 5.4% of your nest egg every year without it running out before you kick the bucket. Okay, so that is what basically it is. So 4% was the highest sustainable withdrawal rate retirees could use. Like if you are retiring at 60, okay, and your corpus is nearly 2 crore, and so 4% of 2 crore can be withdrawal to for the higher sustainable rate. Now, so retirement planning, when we are talking about, different investors may have different needs for retirement. So some people wants to uh, uh, different aspirations are there. Some people have different aspirations than others. So some people are saying I'm well prepared for my retirement in 30 years. So early retirement these days we are seeing it. So, but not in the case of medical professionals, because their profession start at nearly 30, 35. So then for medical professional, their early retirement could be 50 or 55. But for others, generally we are seeing that people started talking about the retirement at the age of 50 or 45. So then when I retire, my savings will total 40 lakh, which gives me nearly 26,667 per month at the rate of 8%. So if the same amount is more than sufficient, as this is what I'm spending now. So like if at this age, at the age of 30, if your expenditure is 30,000, how can it be possible that after 30 years, at the age of 60, your same expenditure would be there? So like because of inflation, your expenditure would be much higher than 30,000. So these are some of the myths. So now, aging population, when we are talking about, India is expected to move from a predominantly young population to an aging population in the next 30 years. So when you are moving from aging young population to aging population, then definitely what happens, like if you see the UN population division life expectancy in years, so 74.6, so that it increased to 79.9. When you have more life expectancy, so definitely these sort of planning or these sort of financial planning is very much required. And why it is happening? Because of medical advances, improved lifestyles, and the ability to afford healthcare has increased life expectancy across the world, and in India also. So now when we are talking about unpredictability adds to complexity in retirement planning. So what some of the factors which plays a very important role, like inflation. So inflation, in the sense, like two types of generally we are talking about. So one is lifestyle inflation and another is country's general inflation. So lifestyle inflation, in the sense, so like if you see 5 years back, the people many of the people not used to change their mobile phones after every 1 year or after every 2 years. But now the people are spending more on the mobile phones, or people, and after, if we see 10 years back, people don't used to go to restaurants or to malls or all these expenditures and all that. But now what happens, now after 10 years, the people started spending a lot of money on these things. So this is basically nothing, it's a lifestyle inflation. And so remaining years left for retirement, that is another thing. Then third is life expectancy. The fourth one is your medical corpus, pre and post retirement. So all these factors, I will just show it to you how retirement planning is being done by taking into consideration all these factors into consideration. So that through Excel, I will just show it to you how these things works for the retirement planning thing. So which strategy should an investor consider when nearing the distribution stage of retirement planning? So when we are talking about distribution phase, so in the starting, I discussed about two phases. So which are those two phases? Those two phases were like accumulation phase and distribution phase. Accumulation phase is that phase when you are accumulating the money for your retirement or for your financial goals, and distribution phase is that phase when your expenditure started you started reducing your savings, and your expenditure started going on a higher side. So in that particular distribution phase, what should you do? Keep the portfolio in cash and equivalents, increase the allotment to steady return assets and decrease from risky assets, and reduce the allotment to retirement corpus as it come closer, and increase the allotment to equity to maximize the returns. So because you are reaching to near to retirement phase, so what you should do, so in that way, you should keep it in cash, or you should put the or increase the allotment to steady returns, so like consistent returns, not very volatile sort of things, and decrease from risky assets. So generally the people, when they are moving towards retirement, they decrease their uh, allotment to or allocation to risky assets on a lower side. Then a third is reduce the allotment to retirement corpus as it comes closer. So why, if you are coming closer to retirement, you should not reduce the allotment. And the fourth is increase the allotment to equity to maximize the returns. So out of these four options, which option is very near when you are coining the strategy when you are nearing the distribution stage of retirement planning? Poll, please. Okay, so if you see which strategy should an investor consider when nearing the distribution stage of retirement planning? So the majority of the option is, majority of the people have voted for increase the allotment to steady return assets and decrease the from risky assets. Fantastic. So why? So so when you are nearing to retirement, your risk taking capacity is getting reduced, and that is why you are decreasing the exposure towards risky assets, and you are increasing the allotment to steady return assets. Yes. Okay. So when we are talking about retirement planning, so retirement planning is basically, these are the some of the variables. So there are three steps. So out of these three steps, I will just define it to you. So there are variables. So which variables are there which are important? First is, what is your current age? One. Second is, what is the retirement age on which you are trying to getting retired, or your aspirational retirement age? Then what are the additional consideration, like that's what I told you, that there are three phases in life. First is your learning years, then second is your earning years, and third is your golden years, retirement years. So up till 30 you are learning, or 28 you are learning. So next 30 or 32 you are earning. And because uh, during learning years, your accumulation phase is not there. So from 28 to 60, your earning years are there. That is called like all sort of, out of that 32 years, 22 years would be, or 15 years would be your accumulation phase. And after accumulation phase, your distribution phase is started coming in. And now additional consideration when we are talking about average life expectancy, that's what then suppose you are planning for 80. Okay, or if you are planning for 65, that, or if you are planning for 75 years of age. So post retirement at 60 or 65, you are thinking that I will live till 75. But if you live to 85 or 90, and if you are not planning it properly, then what would happen? So that is what it is very important, that average life expectancy when you are planning a retirement is very, very important. And thing is, like, people are thinking, when should we start planning for retirement? The retirement planning start the moment you started earning. Okay. Now, there are two phases: pre-retirement and post-retirement. So pre-retirement, what are the things which are important? I will just show it to you through Excel itself. Okay. Just a minute. New share. So like this is a retirement planning calculator. So like your current age is 30, or if I am taking 28, your current monthly expenditure is say is 50,000, and your retirement age is say 80. So life expectancy is 80. So retirement age is, say, I'm saying 60. Okay. Then we are having percentage expenses after retirement would be 70%. Hello. Karan, screen is visible to mine? Hello. Yeah, it is visible. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So thing is, like, current age is 28, current monthly expenses is 50,000, your retirement age is 60, and number of years left for retirement is 32. So like 60 minus 28 would be 32, and your life expectancy is nearly 80, and percentage expenses after retirement, if suppose 50,000, it means 35,000 would be the post expenses after retirement. Means 50,000 if you are spending it today, so it would be nearly 35,000. But after considering the inflation, value of monthly expenses post retirement would be how much? It would be 3,05,000. The expenditure which you are making it 50,000 today, so the same expenditure you would be expenditure you would be able to meet out at 3,05,034 rupees 48 paisa. Okay. So now after 60 till 80, how much money you would be required so that you would be able to meet out your expenditure? So means what? So like your current age is 28, your current monthly expenditure is 50,000, your retirement age is 60, and number of years left for retirement is 32. Simple. Then your life expectancy is 80. So means after retirement at 60, you are going to live for 20 years. So for those 20 years, you need to save it. So like then your 50,000 expenditure today would be like 70% of that would be your expenditure. Like you won't be having transport or some sort of expenditures, which is not there at all. Then that's why 70% is being taken into consideration. Then your inflation is 7%. Then 3,05,000. So that sort of things are there. So it means the retirement corpus. So number of years in retirement is 20. Then corpus required to account for retirement expenditure would be 6,63,82,355. So this much of corpus you would require at the age of 60, so that you would be able to meet out your expenditure of 3,05,000 every month for next 20 years. So for that, what you should have to do, your monthly saving should be 37,420 at the rate of 8%, so that you would be able to create this much corpus of 6 crore 63 lakh 82,355. So this is a general calculator for the planning of your retirement. So this is how it works. And if that is why the people, if you start investing it today for your retirement, that gives you a leeway. Okay. Now again moving now, at which stage is it good to reduce the proportion of growth assets in the portfolio? So like when we are talking about the growth assets, so growth assets are those assets which are basically when you are investing in equity, so you can take the risk in that particular way. So that's why at which stage is it good to reduce the proportion of growth? So growth assets in the portfolio. So at young age, at middle age, as at pre-retirement stage, or at young families. So as per you, which stage is good to reduce the proportion of growth assets? Growth assets in the sense equity assets. Poll, please. Is it okay? Yeah. So I think 60, 16, 17% people have said pre-retirement stage. So yes, so the question is at which stage it is good to reduce the proportion of growth assets in the portfolio. Means when you should reduce the equity assets in the portfolio. Because why? Because of higher volatility. So pre-retirement stage. So because at young age or middle age you can take a risk, and when you are when you have a young family you can take a risk, but at a pre-retirement stage you should reduce your proportion of growth assets in the portfolio. So pre-retirement stage is the right choice. So you should automate your savings. So if you have ability to save, you should automate your retirement planning through payroll deductions like PF, or through SIP sort of things. Then a lump sum amount already collected for retirement purposes, that is also uh, the thing, the variable, the important variable. But the most important thing is your ability to save and invest is the most important variable, which can make your retirement kitty strong. Then second variable is your rate of return. So rate of return is basically, that's what it is, not in our control. But if you are investing for a longer periodicity, for a longer period, it is very, very good. Uh, then putting it all together, all the variables, that's what we have seen it over there. So three phases. First phase is your learning years, so like your before earning. So like 28 years, your 28 or 25 is your learning years, and after that your earning years start. So up to 60 or 65 your earning starts. Then your golden years start at 60 or 65, whatever it may be. So now first phase is your after first phase, your accumulation phase, your earning years. So from 28 to 60, 32 years, if you start planning your retirement the moment you started earning, then automatically, or if you automate your savings, then definitely the corpus would be on a higher side. So this already I discussed the variables sort of thing. Now, so like there are some ready-made funds are also there, so which can give you the solution like this on the basis of your age. The money is being increased or decreased as per your age. So that also I will just define it to you. Now, next poll: which of the following feature of growth assets make them unsuitable to hold in the portfolio as retirement comes close? So which feature of growth assets in the sense equity kind of assets, make them unsuitable to hold in the portfolio as retirement comes close? First is high level of returns. Second is income orientation of returns. Third is low level of returns. Fourth is volatility in returns. So like uh, definitely high level of returns, it is not making unsuitable. Income orientation of returns, it is not making unsuitable. So low level of returns or volatility of returns, volatility in returns, the out of these two, which option is more nearer towards this question? Poll please. Okay, so majority of the people are saying volatility in returns. Yes, volatility in returns is the one thing which really make the features of uh, growth assets unsuitable to hold the portfolio in the retirement years. So like when you are nearing to retirement, because of volatility, generally if your risk according to as per your risk profile, if you have a risk taking capacity, volatility on returns is okay. But if you don't have a higher risk taking capacity and near to retirement, then you should not go for growth assets. You should put your money in those assets where the volatility in returns is on the lower side. I think the audience is giving the very right answers all for all the polls. I must praise that. Now, this is very important slide. So cost of delaying retirement planning. So when we are talking about cost of delaying retirement planning, so if you are delaying, if you are started at the age of 30 and you need to accumulate 5 crore as retirement corpus, then you need to start an SIP of 29,326. But if you are delaying it by 5 years for 5 crore corpus, and you like at the age of 30, if you want to have a corpus of 5 crore, okay, after 30 years, then at the age of 30, if you start, you need to invest your money of 29,326 per month. Okay, but if you delay by 5 years, for achieving 5 crore, the amount would be increased to 54,268 per month. But at the same thing, if you are delayed by 10 years, it would be 1,04,000. But if you delay by 15 years, it would be 2,22,000. So what it shows, if you delayed the decision by 5 years, if you delay the decision by 10 years, if you delay the decision by 15 years, then what happens? Your amount for investment is getting increased to accumulate the money of rupees 5 crore by retirement age. So that is why the early you start investing for your retirement, because this is the most important goal which people are generally ignoring. So this is the most important goal for your some people are saying golden years, and for those who are not planning, for them it's a sunset years. So that's what like understand regarding this. If you are not if you are delaying your retirement needs or retirement planning, so what you are doing, your longevity, inflation, and understating expenses would be the key things. Then lower level of retirement savings and investments, uh, definitely it is making an effect. So investing conservatively or aggressively, some people are thinking, yes, I need not to take a risk at even at the accumulation stage. If you are putting your money only in the saving bank account and the inflation rate is on a higher side, then definitely you won't be able to meet out the your retirement kitty which you are expecting. Uh, then risk of early withdrawal. So what happens, people generally dip on their savings whenever there are needs arises. So if you are saving for the particular purpose, for the particular goal, for a particular financial goal, then you should not dip into those savings. Then retirement plan, you should monitor and update the retirement plan according to your needs, the life cycle and life events. So sometimes like if you are young at the age of 28 or 30 or 35, at that point of time you are planning your retirement as per your life events or life cycles or any life needs. Then your needs or your lifestyle is getting changed after 10 years. So as per your change in lifestyle and life cycle, you need to change your retirement plan also. So that is what is more important. So change in needs, change in life cycle, and change in life events, these are the three things you should monitor and update the retirement plan accordingly. So that's all from my side. Thanks for patience hearing. And now we can open for the questions.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much, sir, for a very detailed presentation on how one should plan their retirement life. Uh, See, we might have a few questions which have come. But before I go to the question,
Yes, sir.
I would like to ask you, okay, does SBI Mutual Fund as a company have any facility on taking case to case understanding and discussion of doctors, whether they have whatever they have planned till now up till what
Okay.
age, and whether it is okay, is it less than what they should expect, is it more than, or they are going okay, and what changes should be made? Is that some counseling program available?
Yes, the counseling programs are there. And the second is like we have a defined solution based products also. So like recently we launched SBI retirement fund. So
Right.
where it is generally being taken into consideration is if suppose your age is 30. So what happens, on the basis of your age, the investment is being done. And the moment you are reaching to 45, your that's what I defined it over there. Yeah, the moment you are reaching to 45, your plan is getting changed from equity to a sort of hybrid. So you're on the basis of age risk profiling. So then
Right.
secondly, we have like a children benefit fund. So sort of it is also a solution oriented fund. The people who wants to plan for the higher education of the children and all. So yes, one to one counseling programs are also there. And on the basis of the structure of investments, on the basis of the structure of the investments.
One more thing then I would like to say,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, should a person, they should plan for their financial risk mitigation, as we have been
yeah,
discussing
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
last so many sessions, and there are so many tools available. But for retirement, as a goal for retirement planning, should they take their own decisions in terms of investing, in this way, the way you have told in terms of tapering, shifting from aggressive to a little non-aggressive and
Yeah,
hybrid, and then less risky type of an investment at the later stage.
yeah.
Should they be consulting a private consultant, or they can, have an understanding from mutual fund houses like SBI or you or UTI
Like
and
yes,
plan?
Sudhiji, it is very important question. Like what I'm saying, if from the perspective of doctors itself, I'm saying, so like the people, some when patients are going, so some people take a medicine directly from the medical store, okay,
Right.
and some people are taking the advice of the direct doctors. So it is very important to take an advice of financial advisors, okay, and because they are well versed with the markets, they are well versed with the products, and if you are directly taking it, so definitely it would because planning properly for your investments and all that is very important. If you are taking a haphazard decision, it is not recommended. And yes, some of the solution, but the thing is, like, if somebody is going for solution oriented, they can take a call, because there is no uh, defined or undefined territories there in that. Secondly, if suppose somebody is going for an equity sort of for a longer periodicity,
Okay.
if somebody is going for a longer periodicity investments on the goal based, then definitely with a good fund houses they can invest in. And second, they should invest in equity for a longer term perspective. So many of the people I saw, they are thinking that equity is for a shorter period, and that's why if the volatility is on a higher side, they are getting confused why I invested in equity. So equity, when you are investing in any equity funds, invest it from the perspective of at least 5 to 10 years. But majority of the people doesn't know that in mutual funds, except equity mutual funds, there are debt mutual funds are also there. If somebody is putting in say in saving bank account, if
Hmm.
somebody is putting in saving bank account getting 3% or 3.5%, in the same way they can invest in liquid funds, which is giving nearly 6 to 7%, depends upon the interest rate scenario sort of thing. That's it. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So there are many retirement plans available in the market,
Yeah, yeah,
and they, take SIP from the customer or the
yeah.
investor, and they systematically invest in either debt market or equity market or
Yes,
things
yes.
like that, or in a hybrid of each. So, till what age should we invest in tools which are more equity heavy, and till what age should we increase in hybrid and then shift to debt?
So very good question, Soniji. Like one is, it's totally like last time I defined it on my in my session, that it is totally based on your risk profile. So like one of the person who is having a very high level of risk taking capacity, the person can go up to 60 at the till the age of 60. I have seen many people who are taking higher level of risk at the age of 70 also.
Okay.
Okay, so it's totally depend upon the risk taking capacity of the person. If the person is having a higher level of risk taking capacity, but generally as a thumb rule, if we see 100 or 110 minus your age is can be put it in equity.
Okay.
If your age
Okay.
is say 65,
Hmm.
okay, so 100 minus 65 or
35.
uh, can be your uh, equity portion.
Okay. Okay. So there is one question that if a person has already crossed 40 and he realizes that he has done a lot of less investment looking
Okay,
at his retiring plan.
okay,
So only 15, 16 years are left.
yeah.
So should he, because of this, should he become aggressive and put it in equity type of mutual fund, or should he be going to an hybrid mutual fund?
So what person can do, like the person can go for sort of 60 to 70% in equity sort of things, And if somebody is ready to take a high level of risk by investing in equity, the person can go for even 80% till the age of 55. But when you are nearing to retirement, you should reduce your equity exposure like 3 to 5 years back, and you start shifting your money towards debt. So that is basically the recommendation.
Okay. There is one more question. Is there any multiplier of how much should the investment be as you go towards the retirement age? Matlab, as you were talking about some multiplier, I think that must have invoked this question.
So like multiplier in the sense like it's totally depend upon your different factors on the basis of which the retirement calculation is being done. So like if your expenditure is 50,000 today, I'm sorry, if your expenditure is 50,000 today, monthly expenditure, so 70% of that. So if 35,000 you are taking into consideration the expenditure which is today, after 30 years, considering the inflation, it would be more than 3 lakh. So for your 3 lakh expenditure on a monthly basis, how much money for your 20 years you should start investing? So what would be the purpose of that? Like we have seen in the example of ours in the PPT. So like nearly 3 crore of corpus is required. So for achieving that 3 crore of corpus, you should start investing at least 28, 29,000 SIP in the equity or any asset class which is giving nearly 8 to 9%. So like in the history, we have seen that equity, if you are investing for a longer periodicity, the average return in equity is hovering nearly 10 to 15%. So no asset class is giving that kind of return, the kind of return the equity is giving from a longer term perspective. So equity generally is for a longer term perspective, and debt is generally for a shorter period, so less than 3 years. So there are different categories, but people are doing reverse. So people are investing in equity for a shorter period and keeping the money in FD for longer periods. So rather, it should be reversed. That's it.
Okay. One last question, sir. In the early age, if you look at last 10 years, before the COVID era,
Yeah.
the growth in the equity market was not so great as which we have witnessed in the last 1 year or 1.5 years.
Yes. Yes.
So looking at that, a lot of people have invested in ULIPs, which has both, insurance coverage as well as, returns after or planning for the retirement age. But once you look at now, when the growth prospect for the next 5-10 years is very promising for Indian
Yes.
scenario,
It is looking
should
very.
they divest from ULIPs and enter into mutual funds?
So like it's a very good question. I want to define one thing over here. Across the world, if you see, specifically in the developed markets, people are not getting confused with the insurance with investments. They are keeping insurance part as a different with investments. So like if you are mixing your investments with protection, so there the problem occurs. So whereas if you see, if you are taking any sort of term insurance, that is coming at a very cheaper cost, and but if you are investing in ULIP, if the expenditure would be on a higher side. Whereas if you are investing through mutual funds, so in mutual funds, the higher on a higher side, it is nearly 2.5% on a higher side, but generally in the equity, it is much lesser than that. So there is in general, people are keeping their protection side or insurance side different by taking term insurance, and they are investing it through mutual fund. Across the world, in the developed market, it is happening like this only. So my recommendation would be you should go for protection as a separate tool for insurance and all. For investment, it should be different.
So in simpler terms, since you have all the products, so probably I would like to summarize my understanding of whatever you said.
Yeah.
We should have something called a term plan, which will cover the risk.
Yeah.
And the second should be totally a little hybrid type of a investment where I can at least vouch for a little higher returns,
Yes.
but
So like
not a ULIP type, right? Because it may
yes,
not give me
Soni.
higher returns.
Yes, Suniji, like the thing is like if suppose the person who is 30 or 35 years,
Right.
the person who is 30 or 35 years, he can go for full equity. So he
Okay.
can go for uh, any large cap, mid cap, or small cap kind of funds.
Okay.
But the person who is 55, who is 50, the
Mhm.
person can go for 60% equity, 40% debt. The person who is 55, the person can go for 70% in debt, or 60% in debt and 40% in equity. So
Okay.
that sort of combination. So like there are different sort of funds are also there. One
Okay.
is solution oriented. Another is like dynamic asset allocation fund. On the basis of market scenario, the money is being reduced in the particular asset class. So that sort of funds also can be taken into consideration when investing.
Right, sir.
Over to you.
Sir, this lockdown has witnessed a lot of people going on net, surfing, different places to invest. And some opportunists have actually come up and taken a good site, like Policy Bazaar has come up. And,
Yeah.
they become a one-stop mall for all the financial tools. Uh, do does SBI Mutual Fund offer the same things in Policy Bazaar as they offer individually?
So like thing is it is same if you go to Policy Bazaar, if you go to directly for in SBI mutual fund also. So there are different tools on the basis of which you would be able to come to know that what sort of fund is suitable for me on the
Right.
basis of different parameters. Yes, it is. So like in Policy Bazaar, you would be able to get another term insurance kind of sort of things. But in SBI mutual fund, we are only in the mutual fund sort of things. But
Okay.
rather, if you see our retirement fund, there we are giving insurance protection also for the people who are investing in our retirement funds, and that is at a free of cost. So
Okay.
that is the only protection tool which we have come out with in the retirement funds.
So last thing, would you suggest some place or site where the people who have been listening to you want to plan for their retirement can go and put these numbers that you did in the Excel,
Okay.
and they can come out with a formula. They can understand how much to be invested, and whatever investment they have done, they can put there, and they can calculate whether they are in the right
Okay.
direction.
So
If
there is a defined calculator is there on the SBI mutual fund website also. So like
okay,
in majority of the mutual fund sites, there are retirement solution based calculators are there on the basis of which you can key in the data, and you can easily find it out uh, what should be your goal and how much money you would require to achieve that goal. So and how much money you should start investing to achieve that particular, like if suppose if you are aspiring for 5 crore retirement purpose, then how much money you start investing it today so that you would be able to achieve to that goal. So yes, that sort of calculators are there. Then second, before moving to the calculator, there are some questions are there on the basis of which your risk profile is being defined, and the recommendations are also based on those risk profile questions are there on the sites.
right, sir. Right, sir. So I think we can visit those sites and find out by ourselves whether we are on the right track and preparing ourselves well for the retirement or not.
Yes.
Sir, thank you very much for this session. I think if it does not provide all the solutions right now, but at least it has done one thing. It has triggered that thought that we should be planned and we should do all the things which will make our retirement life better and at least independent, I would like to say.
Thank you.
Right, sir. So this brings to an end to the sixth episode. Tomorrow is the seventh one, and if retirement we are talking about retirement today, we also need to. I get reminded of a book called "Who Will Die, Who Will Cry When I Die." So I would like to say, so that your near and dear ones don't cry, I think you need not to miss the next session, which is on inheritance and how you should write your will, why you should write your will. And we will be hearing from one of the great speakers tomorrow on the focus on inheritance and why it is very important to nominate the near and dear ones and plan for a will which is substantiated legally and with a will which will probably not make them cry when you die. So thank you very much. Over and out.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.